I am Dejanea Meyer, and I'm doing my project on Joycelyn elders. So let's start at the beginning. Joycelyn elders got a scholarship to Philander Smith College, a historically black liberal arts school in Little Rock, at 15. She was very interested in biology and chemistry at this point, but she didn't think she'd make it past a lab tech position until Edith Irby Jones, who was her inspiration, came to speak at a sorority at her school, and that's when elders knew that she wanted to become a physician. So after college, she enrolled in the Army, and she trained at Brooke Army Medical Center in physical therapy. After her discharge, she enrolled in the University of Arkansas Medical School, which is where Edith Irby Jones went, and there she got that paid for through her GI Bill. After graduation from medical school, she interned actually here at the University of Minnesota Hospital in pediatrics. Then she returned to the University of Arkansas for her residency and ended up getting her biochemistry degree there as well. She became part of the full medical faculty, and then eventually she went on to become a professor at the University of Arkansas. Some of the obstacles she faced was poverty. She could not afford college. Her family couldn't afford college. She actually had to have her family work extra just to get her the bus fare. She faced racism. A lot of the University of Arkansas was still segregated when it came to non-learning environments. Learning environments were desegregated by this point, but non-learning environments were not. She had to eat in a separate dining hall from everyone else. And then she was the only woman in her graduating class there, so she overcame a lot to get to where she is. So her interest and focus, I couldn't find any super crazy, interesting hobbies of hers. She was really devoted to her work, and she was really involved, which was really great. So she did a lot of fighting for better K-12 sex education programs, substance abuse prevention, and self-esteem programs. The field of biology that she studies is medicine and public health. She specializes in pediatric endocrinology, which endocrinology deals with the endocrine glands and hormones. She did a lot of work on insulin deficiency, which I'll get into a little more later. Her most recent publication, I believe this was in 2017 or 18, it was named "The Need to Promote Sexual Health in America, a New Vision for Public Health Action." So this paper focuses a lot and provides evidence that a better focus on sexual health would enhance core disease control, and it would help with the prevention efforts' effectiveness. In order to optimize those benefits, action needs to be taken at all levels of society, not just the ones that are seeming to be most affected. It needs to happen at all levels. This figure is one of many in the paper that show the economic burden that poor sexual health care puts on the country. And I'll give you a second to look at that. And this figure, along with others, kind of showed, with other figures, it kind of showed a plan of how sexual health has affected this country in the past and what can be done to improve that. So the past and the future. Elders has uncovered a lot when it comes to endocrine-related subjects. One of her more well-known and important findings was about insulin resistance. I have that citation right there. And the qualitative abnormalities in people with extreme insulin resistance. This was kind of about like abnormalities as in like pH levels, things like that, like parts of a person that were just extremely odd and that came with extreme insulin resistance. She is still a professor and researcher at the University of Arkansas, and so a lot of her more recent and probably future endeavors would relate to some substance abuse and sexual health in the United States youth. She even puts a little bit of work into the effect of marijuana on the youth of America, and these were kind of things that she focused on recently of how the substances affect people and what can be done about that. So my personal connection, and what I admire about her, what I actually admire about her most is her fighting through controversy as Surgeon General. She faced a lot of criticism in her time as Surgeon General, even though it was only for a short period of time. A lot of people did not like what she had to say, but she never watered down her views, and she never changed them for anyone. She thought what she thought, and she was really strong about it. Why I felt personally connected to her is because of my own military connection. I have both my grandma and grandpa in the Army, and my mom and brother are both in the Air Force. And she was in the Army from 1953 to 1956, and then still a government position, the U.S. Surgeon General from 1993 to 1994. Another reason I felt connected to her is because I'm studying here at the University of Minnesota, and she studied pediatric studies, which is what I want to go into. I want to go into pediatric work. So I thought that was really interesting, and I love that about her. Here are my references. I hope that you all enjoyed this. I hope you learned a lot about her. I think she is a great person, and I hope you enjoyed.